Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. In 2001, I chased a group of illegal aliens down in Eagle Pass, Texas. It was about 10 to 12 illegal aliens. We responded to some sensor activity, and I chased them for about a mile and a half. I was yelling for them to stop the whole time, and they continued to run. And another agent, a trainee agent, had gotten ahead of me in a vehicle, and they caught the group. From my point of view, when I was running up to the scene, it looked like he had aliens all around him. And there were two aliens behind him that weren't complying with his task direction. And they had their bags and were getting ready to run or attack the alien. Attack the agent. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I ran up, and with the bottom of my foot, I pushed them both on the ground and told them to sit down. They were transported back to the station, and that was the end of that I heard of that. It was a simple event. 6 weeks after that happened, we were notified. I was on duty again about 5 in the morning, and we were notified by the infrared camera operator that there was narcotics crossing the river on the Leonard's Ranch, south of Eagle Pass. Me and some other agents got into a position, and strategic position. We jumped a load of dope, which ended up being 860 pounds. We got two of the smugglers right off the bat, and the camera once again guided me into an area where there were two more hiding in the brush. They saw me coming and started to run. I chased them, yelled for them to stop. They jumped through a barbed wire fence, and so did I. I jumped over it, and we landed on the ground on the other side. The first alien got up and ran, and I grabbed the other one by the legs, and we started the fight. He slammed me on the ground, and I was tired from running. I had my body armor, I had my weapon, and he was sitting on top of me, and he had me by my neck, and I had him by his shirt, and he had my arm pinned on the ground, and I said, oh my God, I'm losing. I said, I'm gonna lose this fight. And it was in the same area where Jefferson Barr, another agent, had died a few years earlier, about 5 years earlier. And it was around the same time of year, same time of morning. And that's all I could think about. I'm gonna die. So to make a long story short, I got him off me, and he ended up with a broken nose. He was prosecuted, he was turned over to DEA, prosecuted, convicted, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Well, 3 weeks after that happened, I was called into my supervisor's office, and I was relieved of my service weapon and told to go sit behind the desk, working the cameras. And when I asked why, they said, you're under investigation. And they didn't know why. I believe they honestly didn't know. For 14 months, I played that dope smuggler incident over and over in my head, trying to figure out where I went wrong. What did I do? The guy's name, Miguel Angel Rodriguez Silva. I had it in my head. Every moment that went on, I played it over and over. 14 months later, in May of 2002, I got a letter from Johnny Sutton's office. It was written by Bill Bauman, Assistant U.S. Attorney, and he was inviting me to my own grand jury. I went to my attorney, and my attorney recommended that I didn't go to the grand jury because he couldn't be there with me. So I declined. 4 months later, I was finally brought to trial in October of 2002. When we went to trial, we had jury selection on Monday morning, and then they brought in the illegal alien from Mexico, which was actually the first illegal that I pushed on the ground. When I first got the letter inviting me to the grand jury, I looked at the name on the letter, and it said Miguel Angel Jimenez Saldaña, which was not the dope smuggler. It was the first guy that I pushed on the ground 6 weeks before the dope smuggling incident. And it took me 4 days to realize, who is this guy? Where was I working? Who was I working with? Because it was such a simple event. During the trial,